As long as
Hi guys. Wow, it really feels like it's been a long time since I've talked to you. But welcome back. How are you doing? Before I get into it, here is my breakfast that I'm eating. I'm having coffee today, espresso and soy milk. I don't have coffee that often just because I feel like I can really feel its effects on my body. And I feel dehydrated, you know? I feel like my body's very sensitive to things and what's going on, and I can just feel how I'm dehydrated, but it actually just tastes so good that like I just have to. I don't know why, but recently I feel like whenever I'm talking to other people, I just talk in circles. Like, I think maybe because all the talking I do day to day is pretty much to a camera where I can just say whatever I want and I don't have to answer a question. I find it really difficult to give straightforward answers. I've like entered this zone of social awkwardness that like I didn't necessarily have before because I was just so good at masking, putting on a good performance of like being very sociable. But now because I'm so out of practice, just like being on my own all the time and trying to explore my inner world, when I'm interacting with people in the real world, I'm just like. And then I also have, I think purple yam or taro bread right here from the Chinese bakery in Flushing. So like yesterday I was trying to interview people in Flushing for my project, and I was like, oh my gosh. Usually I have that courage to do that, but I'm just so drawn inward right now that it feels very like scary to go out and talk to people in the way that I normally would want to. I'm noticing how being on my own all the time is really almost like siphoning off my energy in a certain way. Because obviously, like, we're not supposed to be alone all the time. This is just something that I've felt the need to do as I'm entering this kind of void period of not feeling super resonant with other people. But like I literally feel like if you've ever seen like a deer wandering by itself, it looks so scared because it doesn't have the protection of the whole family, the whole pack to move with. And that's the downside of being alone. I don't feel like it's sustainable, so gotta find some people to come back to now. But anyway, I wanted to update you on some things. So for the past week, I've had some wrist issues, like tendon issues. And from going so hard editing and not listening to my body because I was just so in that like melange of source goodness when I was in it, it really showed me kind of that kind of gives you a high in a way that is not actually sustainable for your body. And while I was in this mode of being like, oh my gosh, I'm actually unlimited, like there's nothing at all that I can't do, I'm just gonna edit all day and make videos because that's what I like to do, right? No, I have limits as a human body, and my wrist and my hand started hurting a lot, and I basically just had to take a break from that. It literally kind of felt like a breakup because I feel like I was so attached to working myself so hard. And I feel like because I was so attached on those outcomes of making the video, have people engaging with it, I wasn't present to what was actually going on in my life, the signals of my body. And I was just like thinking of this imagined future. I was thinking of something that didn't exist in reality. And because of that, I feel like low-key, this wrist thing happened for a reason because I was so out of touch with the present moment. I was so out of touch with my body that my body just shut down and literally prevented me from doing it anymore. So I basically spent a week off not doing anything. Like I couldn't do any computer work, so anything for school. I couldn't do any writing, like physically writing really hurts. And I couldn't obviously do any video editing. And these were all the things that I did every single day, like the things filled my time up with. And I was getting super stressed out doing all of these things. All of a sudden, I didn't have anything to do anymore. It felt very heartbreaking because I realized how much I was attaching to being able to do these things for my sense of happiness. And I think not being able to do those things for like a week was actually very needed. I almost felt also relief at the same time, because I realized I was just like overcompensating and trying to do more than my body could allow, because I felt like that was what was needed in order to get myself into the life I wanted to see for myself. When in fact, the life that I'm creating for myself is co-created in every moment with life itself, with, the molecules of the universe around me. So if I'm not present to them, if I'm not feeling good, if I'm not receptive to that dance, there's no way that I can create this imagined reality that's in my head from overworking myself. Because your dream life isn't even about anything like what it looks like. It's literally about how you feel, because how you feel is how you're interacting with the present moment. That like rubbing against each other, you and the molecules of the universe, is exactly what produces your reality. In the present moment is the rich soil in which I can lay my seeds, and anything else is just a mirage in the air. Let's take a bite of this. Yum. Our souls have that unlimited potential, but it's within the container of our body, which is limited. It's not like some sort of obstacle or something that's getting in the way of what we want to do. Like, our bodies and our presence here is literally why we can create life, like why we can move through life with presence and thus create the life that we want to see. Yeah, I think that just getting so caught up in my dance with source energy, my dance with creativity, and the highs that I got from that sensation, I was forced to kind of rely on other people more and have other people care for me more through this process, which is something that's really uncomfortable for me. But I was kind of forced to do it, and I feel like it's the universe's way of basically saying, you need other people. Like, we're going to force you to not do everything by yourself and not work yourself to death, because you'll notice that everything you need is actually right here inside you, and you don't have to overcompensate for everything. But it was a really strange period where I just felt dull because I couldn't do any of the things that I liked to do, that I felt like would get me to this life that I was wanting to create. I would just do the things that I did 2 years ago when I was afraid of my creativity and I was procrastinating. So I would just be like watching YouTube or being really passive and reading a book. But this time, actually, it felt like a breath of relief, because I had not allowed myself to do those things in this period where I was working myself so hard. I had not allowed myself to do those things. And I was finally able to kind of notice this anger whenever I feel powerless, whenever I feel like I can't do the things that I need to do to get myself towards that life. I'm recognizing now that that's just like a construction of the ego and the mind. So this fire that has driven me all this time, that I have really been leaning into and feeling this sort of exaltation of life through, also has this shadowy side. It requires balance, because if I'm leaning too much into that, then I literally feel the urge, like when I'm resting and I know I need to rest, to be like, life is so uncomfortable right now, I need to like get myself to this other life by working. It's just a thought like any other. Like, I feel like I used to lean into it more because for so long I felt like I didn't have this fire, or I didn't have enough to like even get me creating at all. But now it's like, even when I'm resting, I'm noticing that I want to create, like, and maybe my relationship towards it is a little bit more healthy, challenging me to open up to other areas of my life that are uncomfortable for me, that I've neglected. So receiving care, being present and doing nothing, being in bed and like enjoying the coziness of bed, and trying to hang out with friends more instead of holding myself up like a hermit, just dancing with source and nobody else. So yeah, it really was this kind of like ego death in a way for me, where I couldn't cling on to this life that I'd imagined for myself and like fast track it by working super fast and hard, because then I was just throwing away my own life now. I wasn't present to it. And that imagined life just can't happen if you're not present now. Because like I said, everything that is created and birthed later is a product of how you are interacting with your environment and with your life now. And if you're not present to it, then you're just working yourself into a mental trap. But yeah, I if anybody is going through a similar issue or a similar state in life where it's like you physically can't do the things that you want to do, I feel you. I wonder too if not being able to like edit because of my hand and my wrist is like, now I have to like be on YouTube and show myself to you guys in a way that's less edited, that doesn't take as much time for me to edit and just like make more videos. You know what I mean? I wonder if that's a part of it too. Like, it's challenging me to adapt in certain ways, and I'm kind of grateful for that, because without those challenges, you're not forced to adapt and then build that confidence within yourself when you see how much you can actually do anything. Okay, that's it. I love you. Mwah. See you soon in another video. Bye.